Turning Point USA supposedly wants to do their own halftime show.
My God, yes. Okay. Yeah, I did see that.
And
guess what?
What?
It'll probably be a country
I
artist.
know, dude. I know. I was just gonna say that. It's like everybody that we talk shit about. It's gonna be Post Malone, fucking
Jason Aldean.
Jason Aldean, Kid Rock, fucking
You know,
Scott Baio making an appearance, like,
you just nailed it. Kid Rock and Bud Light.
and then like a special performance of like a choir of conservatives going, "Our country 'tis of me." I forgot the rest of the words of the song.
They're proud to be American.
Oh yeah.
You know who else is actually proud to be American?
Who?
You're listening to Passed Out, the podcast where history, mystery, the occult, and the cosmos collide. This week we're talking about the Super Bowl halftime controversy, the Peacemaker finale, and the trailers for Wonderman and the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Stay curious, and welcome to Passed Out.
Welcome to Passed Out. How we doing this week, man?
Tired as shit.
Yeah, me too. Fucking operating on some crazy work hours, and I'm sure you're doing the same.
Yeah, it's good because it's starting to get cold at night. So sweater weather. It's coming sweater. Why don't they just call it sweater? Sweater's
You may
coming
have
up.
just he may have just invented a new thing.
Little Freudian slip. Gonna get that sweater going on. Hide my
Dude,
belly.
I'm honestly surprised nobody else has said that before because it makes so much sense.
Yeah,
Like
kind of
it's
sounds
their
like a plague too. Like, oh, you got that sweater.
It sounds like the plague you want though. Like it's gonna wrap you in a blanket and kill you.
It's just hairy people. I got a sweater of chest hair. Actually, my chest hair isn't too bad. It's it's there, but it's not like wolf status.
I'm so white that I barely have hair anywhere. So
Good.
yeah,
I'm jealous. Now I'm gonna fucking. I hate the collar on this shirt. Gross.
yeah. Some collars, I feel like some collars really fuck with my neck. I'm like, what the fuck's going on with this shirt? So I feel that.
Yeah.
I wish it was a little cooler here. It's 90 degrees in Dallas today.
Damn. It's super cloudy.
It's
super cloudy here. So you've been.
well,
Do you guys get the Indian summer over there? There's just a California thing where it's like hotter.
I don't.
Well, no, that shit would have ended. That's like September where you get like that one last heat wave, and usually earthquakes happen.
Yeah, no, not here. No, not really. It usually feels like it's kind of just hanging. Once it gets hot, it just kind of stays hot, and then it eventually just starts dropping down. So I'm hoping as we get into November, it starts getting cooler here, because it is nice. It is nice here when you kind of go into that transition season. Me and you spent like a winter here, and it was nice. When we were traveling and doing work stuff, it was nicer once it cooled down. You're like, all right, it's not so bad working outside right now.
Yeah, humidity really kills.
I know, dude, and that's the problem right now. Is it's just hot and humid. So season.
So got some trailers that came out this week. Super Bowl announcement.
Yeah,
which people are pissed off about, dude.
You want to start there, and then we'll kind of drift into the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Bad Bunny was announced for the Super Bowl. I can't think of the last time a group or artist was put in the Super Bowl halftime show that really fits the demographic of your typical viewer. And I think that's the point. It's that they want to get people who watch football, dudes in their like 30s and 40s and 50s, they want to get their wives and their kids to watch with them the biggest game of the year. So why would you bring a band like Metallica, obviously my favorite band of all time, or Creed. I heard about Kid Rock, which would be a fucking nightmare. Why would you bring artists like that when you know you already have that viewership? That's the whole point of having someone like Bad Bunny or um, I guess Kendrick kind of fit that mold, but he's such a big star that it covers a wide variety of
Yeah.
demographics. Um, yeah, was it Coldplay one year? Did Coldplay do it?
Did they? I don't know. I don't think so.
I can see Coldplay doing it one year.
Yeah.
They should have had Coldplay do it this year and then have like just hella people, the spotlight of the camera. I'm kind of surprised
Oh
Coldplay isn't
man,
doing it this year.
that would be cool.
I don't know. What do you think about the whole Bad Bunny thing?
I'm fine with it. I totally understand. Like he's like one of the biggest artists in the world right now. So like obviously I'm sure it helps with viewership. I see like all these I've seen like conservative white women like attacking this
I
real
saw
hard on
Eric
the internet.
Dickerson, Lamb's legend. Man, I'm really doing Freudian slips today. Rams legend, Eric Dickerson, who I still think he has like the most rushing yards in a season ever, or it might have gotten broken by Adrian Peterson, but super good running back. He even was like, I don't want Bad Bunny. I think it's the whole halftime show in Spanish thing. But again, you want the NFL to be an international brand. You're playing games in fucking Ireland. You're about to do one in Australia. You do England.
Hmm.
You do
Is that why
Mexico,
they do? Is
Brazil.
that why they're doing so many? Yeah, like they were just in San Paulo. Like, is that why they do so many? Is that why they're doing so many games around, like in different countries now?
Yeah, they even have it to where certain teams have a lockdown of the market of that region. So I know the Rams and I think another team from the AFC have all of Australia, which is why they're playing in Australia next season. And then I wish I could pull it up, but there was a map of like where the NFL teams are able to market internationally, which I don't know about that. That like takes the whole point of you would think that the NFL would be like a capitalist kind of fucking league to where, hey, if you're in this country, you could fucking root for this team. But they have like marketing lockdowns for specific teams in different countries. But yeah, that's a whole point is they tried and were kind of successful with that whole NFL Europe. You remember that?
Yeah, dude, I remember they were playing in London a lot.
Yeah, they had London. Uh, they were in Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, and I'm sure I'm forgetting a country or two. Just mostly Western Europe, and they would just have. It was kind of like what the UFL or the XFL is now. It would be guys who were mostly on practice squads, and they would uh, basically go out there and play for a job. Kurt Warner played for an NFL Europe team before he got big, and it was to promote it to these soccer big soccer countries and see what they could do there. I don't know why it folded. I guess they didn't make enough money, but it seemed like the Brazil, the London game, the Ireland game. They even played college football in Ireland. Well, the first game was Iowa State, Kansas State in Dublin.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
How much money dude, that just feels so expensive to like take your whole team and administrative staff that needs to go on the road with you. Like that just feels like a lot of money to fly your team across the like halfway around the world.
yeah. Um, Especially students at that point.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's a good investment because you have these
Hmm.
institutions who probably want the best and the brightest of Ireland or whatever country they're going to apply at their university and get it international recognition as well.
That makes sense.
It would be weird for someone to go from Dublin to like fucking Iowa. I don't know if that's a big of a jump as I think it is, but
it might not be. You'd be surprised at like some of the places in the country that are like, oh, this is like a spot where, you know, a lot of immigrants came from this one place.
That's true, especially Ireland or Iowa. Dude, I cannot speak today. I should have slept. Ireland, mixing Iowa and Ireland.
I'm just trying to couple everything today.
Yeah.
Ship them up. Benifer.
I can't tell you one Bad Bunny song I've ever heard.
I can't either. I probably know them, but I just like
Are we just old now?
Yeah, dude, I'm old. Yeah, dude, I'm old.
That's why we're not up to the latest.
Yeah, like
music.
I remember. Which I'm up on some of it, but you know,
the only thing
for me, it's more about producers. I'm like following producers around that I like a lot, that are like producing younger pop stars now, and I'm like, oh, they're producing that. That's interesting. But yeah, not really listening to anybody who's producing for Bad Bunny.
I remember Bad Bunny. I first started noticing him because out of nowhere he sold out 2 nights in a row at Allegiant. Sold out.
Yeah.
And I was like, who the fuck is this? I thought it was Bahad Bahabi. Bad Baby. I thought, I was like, damn, this bitch is fucking selling hella tickets.
No, all she be doing lately is fighting on the internet with her man.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like she seems like she's in a super abusive relationship, and I see like shit all over TMZ about like them talking shit to each other in like the street outside like a club and shit like that.
Why fucking? Typical.
Yeah.
Classic fucking
typical.
Bahad Bahabi.
I know. Dude.
I don't think she could be in a relationship if she didn't fight with her partner.
Probably not. So cash me outside.
It's like some of that has to be just like for clout.
It's an act, right? It's a publicity act.
Yeah.
She starts acting right and like has like no followers anymore. She's like, oh shit, I gotta act up. This is what people like.
In private, they're like, oh baby, I love you so much. You're the best. And then, can we plan something for tonight when we go out? Maybe just like you call me a cunt, and then I'll call you a bitch, and you know we can just really be mad at each other. Yeah, that sounds good.
We'll give the paparazzi a fucking show on West Hollywood Boulevard.
Having a club on the Las Vegas Strip and be like, yeah, let's get Bahad Bahabi to come. You know what the shit that you're gonna get to.
Yeah, you know what you're in for. Wild. I know, but
ICE is supposedly wanting to come to the Super Bowl halftime show. I don't know if they really mean it or if they're just trying to piss off the NFL or people who are happy with the whole.
So like right before, 2 weeks before he was announced as the Super Bowl halftime performer, he had pretty much come out, like he hasn't really been playing in America lately. And he said that's because he's worried about his fans being profiled by ICE outside of his concerts in America. So I was really surprised when I saw that he was coming to do that. You know, a lot of people, like, one of the things that I keep seeing is a lot of people mad that, you know, like saying he's not a citizen, but like Puerto Rico, like if you were born in Puerto Rico, you're a U.S. citizen, right?
Yeah, that's the whole thing when Eric Dickerson said that if he doesn't like America, he could go back. And it's like, where?
Like
to America?
To Puerto Rico? Yeah, America.
The fuck?
Yeah, dude. But Bad Bunny's he's really big at like Brazil. Like his like performances in Brazil, those concerts look fucking crazy. There are so many people in the crowd. I'm like, that's got to be bigger than anything you ever see in America. Was Metallica pulling crazy fucking crowds in when they went to South America?
But the best crowds that you see on Metallica videos are Argentina, Brazil, like
Yeah.
Central and South
Argentina and
America
Brazil.
are
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
you see the most involved crowds. You know, you don't really see
Yeah.
phones out. You just see people kind of just the crowd is just like a wave of people just kind of like headbanging, moving, and fucking having fun. I
Yeah.
like those. I like seeing those the footage of those concerts the most.
Yeah, me too. They look fun.
I don't know if it's because they don't get as much of traffic for artists. You know, the artists probably
Yeah.
come there once every 6-7 years or something.
Mm. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. You know, a lot of people I listen to are like, I could catch them in Dallas almost once a year. So I don't know how's tours coming through Florida. Pretty good.
Yeah, Tampa kind of gets skipped over sometimes for because it's so
Everybody goes
close to
to
Orlando.
Yeah, everybody goes to Orlando and
So they kind
probably
of
South
split
Florida.
the traffic. But Raymond James is out, so you get like the bigger stadium tours here because there's an
Mm,
arena, there's a football stadium.
yeah.
Um, as far as like smaller venues, I think that's where Tampa gets screwed over the most. There's a place called the Janus, which is pretty well known, gets a lot of artists there, but and there's an amphitheater too, and I'm not a fan of Jason Aldean, but he was just here.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm ever gonna like country no matter how old I get. I'm like, if I was gonna like country, I feel like I'd like it by now. There's like a lot of dudes like at work that I meet around Dallas that are like my age that like you go to their house and they're like only listening to country, and I'm like,
Oh,
this is
dude, I
kind of
can't.
weird.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
look, I gotta go. Thanks for inviting me. I would rather listen to Bahad Bahabi.
I actually would too,
Now she's
but
gonna start doing country, and we're really screwed.
she probably will now. Isn't that the thing? Is rappers do country now?
Yeah,
That's the move right now.
it's a slide guitar.
Post Malone and Beyonce just like started a wave of hip hop artists that are gonna do country now.
Man, I'm Post Malone was fun the first few years of seeing him, and now it's just like that dude who's always on Xanax. You're like, oh, he's kind of annoying. I'm gonna gonna just leave him on red.
Dude,
Not responsive.
I love a lot of his songs. I can't really get into anything he's done in the country world. I'm like, nah, you lost me because you switched to like the one genre that I just don't listen to.
The country sells the most, and my theory
I
behind
don't
this
get it,
is, you
dude.
know
I'm
why it
like,
is? I have the perfect theory for why country sells more than
okay.
it, because their fans are too stupid to know how to pirate music. They're boomers. They're like, oh, do I go on Airwhale to get this music? What's a
What's
Spotify?
streaming?
I don't get it. I'm gonna buy a CD at Walmart. That's exactly why country music sells the most, dude.
Dude, that's probably why 80% of the music at Target is fucking country now.
Yep,
You
it is.
fucking nailed it,
I
dude.
really, I really think I'm onto something here. That's like,
Yeah.
sorry, for out of like the 50 people who will listen to this, if you listen to country, but you can do better. We have faith in
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Well, um, I think that's really all I had on the Super Bowl and Bad Bunny. You got anything else here?
No. Oh, Turning Point USA supposedly wants to do their own halftime show.
Oh my God, yes. Okay. Yeah, I did see that.
And
guess what?
what?
It'll probably be a country artist.
I know, dude. I know. I was just gonna say that. It's like everybody that we talk shit about. It's gonna be Post Malone, fucking
Jason
Aldean, Kid Rock, fucking Scott Bio making an appearance. Like,
you just nailed it. Fucking yeah, Kid Rock and Bud Light. Here we come.
and then like a special performance of like a choir of conservatives going, "Our country, 'tis of me." I forgot the rest of the words of the song.
They're proud to be American.
But yeah. God.
Oh. You know who else is actually proud to be American?
Who?
Peacemaker.
Oh. This is a transition?
This is a transition.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How was that season finale?
It was pretty good. I think the rest of the season was so much better than the finale, but the finale was just like a big setup for more things to come in the DCU.
Yeah, I saw him in custody. Is that from the final episode? He gets
That
in
is from the
custody.
final episode. That is from the final scene. Spoilers, by the way. Spoilers.
Oh, oops.
There we
Yeah.
go.
So
We're
what
already
happens?
there.
What gets him locked up?
Okay, so the whole season basically the whole season is about basically dealing with interdimensional portals. You know, coming off of Superman, Lex Luthor had the fucking dimensional portal that tore Manhattan, not Manhattan, fucking Metropolis in half. Fake Manhattan, DC Manhattan. So they tear Metropolis in half basically with this dimensional portal that was unstable. Well, it turns out that Peacemaker's dad also had a stable dimensional portal that's like just a doorway in his house. So
Shady.
Peacemaker wanders into there, in the first episode and discovers like the alternate world of Peacemaker. Well, by episode 6, you've realized that the alternate world is a world where the Nazis won World War II, and it is a white supremacist world because when the first black person shows up, they kidnap her. So,
Shades of Man in the High Castle.
yes. So when they, they deal with this world and they go back home, and then Peacemaker pretty much gets arrested, but he's able to post bail and get out for a little while. They let him go for a little bit while they were working on something else. So, essentially the government took that portal, figured out how to stabilize it themselves, found a world that, they're going to basically use as Earth's prison planet where they want to lock up all the metahumans. And Peacemaker is the first person who is left on this planet. They just kind of shut the dimensional portal behind him and left him there. And that was the end of the season.
And he's like the only person there?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
But their plan is to drop more people there. I'm assuming that big assumption is that this is going to kind of lead into Man of Tomorrow, and what will happen in the next Superman movie is dealing with them trying to trap Superman in their metahuman trap world.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we will see Peacemaker making contact with Superman, you think?
probably, maybe. We'll
That's
see.
crazy.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy to me that like there's a lot of smaller comic book characters that have kind of blown up the last few years, and a lot of it's because of James Gunn. Like you think about pre 2014 about Guardians of the Galaxy comic books and how fucking big Guardians are now. James Gunn's doing the same thing at DC where he's like, we're going to pull this obscure character, Peacemaker. We're going to throw him in the Suicide Squad movie. That makes sense. Ensemble kind of anti-hero crew makes a lot of sense for Peacemaker. And then, Gunn's compelled by, John Cena's performance and is like, let's do a fucking show. And now you have one of the biggest characters right now in your new DCU is Peacemaker. It's like one of the front runners right now because the only other thing you have out really is Superman.
There's some Batman news that came too.
There is some Batman news. I don't know how big of a rumor this is, and I didn't investigate a ton. I just thought I thought it was interesting but rumor is that James Gunn and DCU are eyeing Aaron Taylor Johnson to be.
That?
So you don't know who Aaron Taylor Johnson is?
No.
He's Kick-Ass. Kick-Ass. He just played Kraven. He was in the first Godzilla movie in 2014 with Bryan Cranston.
Okay.
He was Quicksilver in the Avengers: Age of Ultron.
That's funny you said Bryan Cranston though, because when you first said his name, I thought it was Jesse Pinkman. I think his name's Aaron too.
I think it is.
I should know his name.
Man, why can't I think of his name right now?
Aaron Lewis. That's another guy who'd be on the Turning Point USA.
Is it Aaron Paul?
Aaron Paul, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
What is that? Paul is his last name. Now is it Aaron Paul? I have to check this out. This is bugging me. Sorry for sidetracking really quick.
Okay, you check that out. But
so what do you think of that casting? If that's true,
I think it's interesting because I've seen him in some really bad roles, but like I also do think I think in Godzilla, I think he was, they pretty much had him playing like kind of a stoic kind of soldier, a little quieter, but like he was still compelling as the lead of that movie.
and it is Aaron Paul, by the way.
Okay, cool. All right. So, what I really liked Aaron Taylor Johnson in recently was, dude, he was amazing in Nosferatu.
Yeah.
He was so good in Nosferatu, bro. I was like, holy shit. I was like, so like, I could see it because like he just has range, but it's just like you also see him like, and I really liked him in Kick-Ass, but he was really young. He was a really kind of nerdy version of himself, and then he starts playing and then he just initially became like the action hero. I do like him as Quicksilver in the Marvel universe. They killed him off in the first movie though, so that he was in. Which weird choice when you're gonna make the Scarlet Witch such a big character in your universe. You're gonna kill her brother, who like typically in the comic books is glued to her side the whole fucking time. But I do love Marvel though, guys. I feel like I talk a lot of shit and I criticize a lot, but I really do love them.
But that's it's because you expect more from Marvel. I get it.
It's just wild watching like how good of a movie Iron Man is, and then how bad some of the other movies can be. So it's just, but yeah,
imagine watching Kick-Ass and then thinking like this is gonna be Batman in 20 years or something.
Yeah, it is.
Because he looks completely different now.
Yes, yeah, he does, dude, and like he kind of looks really different in a lot of movies.
Yeah, he does,
and like, and it's just like, I don't know if he just is like one of those guys who's like, yeah, I'm gonna say yes to everything, and then you're like, you end up in the same year, almost back to back at the box office. You have dude in like Nosferatu giving like a fantastic performance, and then Craven, and which is just like completely bombs. I couldn't even watch the movie after I watched the trailer. I was like, this is gonna be so bad. I just can't even bring myself to watch it.
Do you think Craven was worse or Morbius?
I don't know. They're probably about the same, and I'm assuming that only because I don't know. Madam Web might be like in that same realm of just like Sony trying to put out bad fucking Spider-Man adjacent movies. So
it was really, that's a bad run.
Yeah, dude. Really bad run. But they're like, we're holding on to the rights because in the other world of Spider-Man, we are crushing it in the Spider-Verse with ththese animated movies.
And the video games have been fantastic.
Video games have been fantastic too. Yeah,
really
dude.
Cool.
Yeah. I just played Spider-Man 2 and that shit was really good. So
I bet you're excited for the trailers that came out for Wonderman and Seven Kingdoms.
I am. So Wonderman, it's kind of a teaser. It was a short trailer.
Very meta. Because
yes,
you have, like,
very
the
meta. Yeah,
and then I couldn't tell what was going to be part of the movie at first, and the footage of White Wonder Man in the beginning.
Yeah.
So,
and then you get the actual Wonder Man in like the end of the trailer, just kind of looking at the TV, and you're like, all right, this is pretty cool. So we'll see where it is, but yeah, it feels like a kind of like they're filming a show within a show, kind of thing. Super meta. He's always been an actor in the comic books. He goes on to be an Avenger on some runs. and just like Avenger adjacent groups and
So he's
things
kind of
like
like the
that.
Johnny Cage of the Marvel
He
world.
is kind of like the Johnny Cage of the Marvel world. Yes.
Okay.
So I did see a return of Trevor Slattery, the fake Mandarin in the trailer, who made his last appearance in Shang-Chi. He was he was like an actor for like Shang-Chi's or his
Shang-Chi?
dad's his dad's like army. um, so it'll be fun. I'm
I bet
sure. I'm
people are
sure it'll be
really
fun.
pissed. I didn't read the reactions to it, but how long have we known that Wonder Man was going to be black? Has it been a while?
It's been a long time. Yeah,
Okay.
I've known the whole time. But like I also follow the casting of all these things, and like I follow Marvel Productions pretty closely. So
Do you think we'll see a black James Bond next?
maybe. Everybody
Idris
wants it to be
Elba has
like
been
Idris
rumored.
Elba,
Yeah.
but like he's already done that with Luther, like
Yeah.
so like, and I think that's why people grasp for him for it, and I do think that's a good choice. Like I don't care if James Bond is black, but like you got to keep him British, right? Like James Bond has to be British. That's
Right. The whole point of him is being in the MI6 or as like a
MI6,
double
yeah. So,
agent of the MI6.
mhm,
Um,
yeah,
for some reason, I always, up until when I was flying to Florida, moving from Nevada, I put on Tenet, which is the most underrated movie in that whole. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the director, Christopher Nolan
Christopher
verse.
Nolan. It is the most underrated Christopher Nolan movie.
It's so fucking good, but it could just be because I'm obsessed with time travel and shit like that, to where he really nailed it.
I
I
think it's an extremely confusing concept, and I think it it's for a smarter audience, and it doesn't translate to all of your general viewers.
I mean, I'm a dumbass. I had no idea what was going on, and I had to kind of go beyond the movie to like read
Uh
what
huh.
the theater. But that's the shit I love, like with Mr.
Yeah,
Robot and things like that. I know I'm straying away for a little bit, but
oh, you're
I think
good.
we need more black action heroes like that.
I think so too. Yeah, I really liked it. So I liked Tenet a lot, dude. And like that's another movie where I'm like Robert Pattinson,
Oh,
really good in
dude,
this fucking movie.
so good.
He's so good in Tenet, dude. like uh,
He's been on a good run.
he's
Um,
been on a really good run.
and that was
He
Robert
did the
Pattinson.
Twilight movies, and after that, he was like, you know what? I'm fucking batting for the stars after this.
Yeah,
You
Batten.
know?
Good pun.
Hey.
Hey yo.
Hey yo. You see what I did there, guys?
Um, and then Seven Kingdoms came out, which I
Yeah.
know nothing about Game of Thrones, dude. And this is all you.
I've read the book A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and it's honestly an easy read. It's like 300 pages. It's probably the shortest George R. R. Martin book you're ever going to find, because like on average a Game of Thrones book is like between like 750 and like 1500 pages, and most of them are the latter.
So this is going to be a movie, or is it like
This is going to be a TV show for HBO.
so a 300
HBO
page
has been
book
trying to.
is going to be extended for a whole fucking series?
Yeah, I think it's
Good luck with
doable in
that.
the world of Game of Thrones. Like, I think if you just kind of really draw out some of the scenes and things like that, it works.
Now, I mean,
We'll
the
see.
Game of Thrones, since what, season 5 hasn't really been critically acclaimed.
Yeah, pretty much. Which I think yeah, like up through 5 it is pretty good, and then I think there's moments of 6 that are really good, and then yeah, 7 and 8 are just kind of off the fucking rails.
And then what
But
was that series that came out afterwards?
House of the Dragon. House of the
Yeah.
Dragon's really good, dude. Honestly, both
Really?
seasons of House of the Dragon are almost better than yeah, both seasons of House of the Dragon are amazing, dude.
Oh, I thought
Like,
it did poor.
no, dude, it's
No.
so fucking
Then
good.
there's
It's
another one then that I'm thinking of that didn't do well. Like another I could be wrong.
There's not another Game of Thrones show out right now
Okay,
because
so
they
House of
keep
Dragon.
announcing spin-offs, but that
Mhm.
like never really come to fruition. You know?
So what happens is this going to be like a prequel series or is it a
Yeah,
sequel?
so you have the main Game of Thrones timeline, and then House of the Dragon is like 200 years before Game of Thrones. House of the Dragon, you're following the Targaryens. Game of Thrones, you're following the last of the last two Targaryens, basically. You don't know one of them's a Targaryen though. And so that like Night of the Seven Kingdoms takes place in the middle of that, like 100 years.
Okay, so in between House of Dragon and Game of Thrones, this is going to take place.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it takes place, and I don't really want to spoil it because almost anything I say will kind of spoil it. But you're essentially I'll give the setup for the show though. You're essentially following a squire who's been training with a knight his whole life. You know, big guy, real tall, like 7 feet tall, called the Hedge Knight. His the knight he's squiring for dies on their way to the tournament, and he decides to take his place, basically, and his armor and become a knight himself. And he ends up picking up a squire who goes along with him, who ends up being extremely important to the world down the road.
Sounds good. Has it been getting praise based off the trailer or?
I haven't seen a whole lot of feedback on it. I also haven't really had time this week to really deep dive into some of these trailers as deeply as I would have normally. But
What were your first thoughts on the trailer itself?
it looked like a Game of Thrones budget show from HBO. Like the production looked fantastic, and
Do you think it's going to set up Game of Thrones to where you could watch House of Dragons, then this show, and then Game of Thrones in order, and it would make perfect sense?
it should. It really
Okay.
should. I feel like HBO is eventually going to reboot the main Game of Thrones series just to try and redo the ending. And maybe George R. R. Martin has finished the books by then, but he's kind of said that he might not finish them. So
That's insane. What's up with
bro,
George's not finishing like their epics?
I don't know,
George
man.
Lucas and
But
George R. R. Martin just
yeah.
saying, "Hey,
So
I'm not going to finish this franchise," and then it's going to lead to some really shitty person or company or corporation finishing it for me, and it won't make sense at the end. That's exactly what's going to happen with Game of Thrones. And I'm not even a fan. I'm not. I don't hate on it. It's just I'm so behind that it would take forever for me to
yeah,
catch up
catch
with it,
up.
and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm good.
That's how I feel about some other shows. I'm like 8 seasons. I'm good.
Ain't
I
nobody
don't
got
even
time for that.
I have trouble keeping up with what's coming out right now, let alone fucking going back in time and trying to watch 8 seasons of something. So I totally get it, but I was, I liked the books. I've always been involved. I've always liked George R. R. Martin, so like I really liked Game of Thrones. When it was good, when it was following the books, it was great. When they had something to follow, but when they ran out of book material and then George was giving them loose ideas of how to finish it, and then like the producers were like starting to be checked out because they're like, oh, we ran out of material, we don't really know what to do, let's talk about making a Star Wars movie instead, and then get kicked off of that. Like the whole last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones just completely fell apart into a production hellhole of not having any clue where to go. Oh. I'm hoping that George R. R. Martin eventually finishes it but like I think the reaction that he saw to the end of the show may have just deterred him from wanting to finish it, because just like you have such a beloved thing, like the last Game of Thrones book came out in 2011. The Dance with Dragons came out in 2011. Winds of Winter is supposed to be book 6, and then something Spring is supposed to be book 7. Correct us if you remember, but I can't remember right now what the last book is supposed to be called. But yeah, like it's been 14 years since he's released a book. And and he's released plenty of other books since then. The books that House of the Dragon are based on, Fire and Blood, the Targaryen fucking timeline, he cranked those out real fucking fast in the middle of all of this. And he's producing other fucking shows. Like, people just think he's stretched on his time. I think he's afraid to finish it because it's just like, you have something so beloved, like, you might not be able to satisfy your fans no matter what you do. And I think that might be like a crippling thing for him, especially at his old age, dude. Like, how old is he? Like almost 80?
You would know better than I would. He certainly looks like it.
Yeah, dude, he kind of looks. Yeah, he looks like he's at least 77. I'm gonna guess 77.
That's my dad's age. Don't you dare talk about 77-year-olds. I'm just kidding. My dad would never write a book right now. Like, oh,
he probably, dude, bro, your dad's probably got some crazy stories from just people in his cab over the years.
He used to valet park on the Sunset Strip at the Troubadour.
Yeah.
There's one story of him. The band Devo came. I told you this?
No, dude.
So Devo came, and they gave him $100. This was in the late 70s, dude, early 80s. And they're like, hey, we're going to do some blow in the car. Can you like keep a lookout for us? Give him $100 bill, and for my dad to like make sure no cops came, and they got completely blown. And then he parked their car, and they went and performed. He said they were really nice, just a little weird, obviously. He met Johnny Carson, who gypped him on a tip. And my dad said it was like, let's say it was like $8.50. Johnny Carson, who was like the biggest name on TV at the time, gives him $9. And then my dad is like, oh, here you go. And then he says something like, I think you need this more than I do for the 50 cents. And then Johnny Carson cracked up. And my dad's been shot at. Yeah, some crazy stuff. He's worked some crazy jobs over his life. He was in South Central Cal. He owned a business in South Central California when the Rodney King riots happened, and he had some. I don't want to say the name of the gang, but he had a certain Hispanic gang with guns outside his business, protecting it that night.
That's some gangster shit, dude.
Yeah. But they worked there. Like the people who worked there whose relatives were involved.
Yeah. With that. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm protecting the name, but just in case, I don't want to rat anybody out. So yeah, we went from Bad Bunny to South Central LA protection.
Honestly, that's almost full circle.
That is, yeah. This is why Chrissy Nome doesn't want fucking Bad Bunny from Puerto Rico to perform at the Super Bowl in San Francisco.
Yeah. The only other thing we had written down was just how bad the Tron Ares reviews have been on Rotten Tomatoes so far, which no fucking surprise. I just kind of feel like Jared Leto's cursed for the box office at this point.
He is, and this goes back to the whole Morbius thing. Even Suicide Squad, his Joker, I didn't think his Joker was too bad, but nobody wants to see Jared Leto as a fucking anything. Especially with all that news of him being a cult leader.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that didn't become a bigger story. It could have been...
I don't know either.
Even if it was bullshit, I totally kind of can see that happening. And the whole Tron world coming to our existence, outside of the whole drive or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of unappealing. It could be Disney fatigue.
It could be. I do think they're trying to chase like the like AI wave, like AI's here. Technology is everywhere. AI is taking over your technology.
Yeah, and I don't think people want to see big corporations talk about the fear of AI when it's really them that we're afraid of. That's a big part of it too. And it's like, oh, Jared Leto, a fucking cult leader. is going to make a movie. Though it's cool that Jeff Bridges is in it. I like me some Jeff Bridges. But
I guess that wasn't. I guess that was supposed to be a secret cameo in the movie, and Jeff Bridges accidentally spoiled it in an interview. So they ended up just putting him out in the trailer. They were like, "Oh, it's fucking out there. Just throw him in the trailer. See if that helps."
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I love Jeff Bridges, but to have a secret, wasn't he in the previous movie too?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, okay. So like his character was not supposed to come back or some shit.
I don't remember. I've watched Tron Legacy once. I like the soundtrack.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the soundtrack better than I liked the movie, and I feel like I'm gonna feel the same way about this one because all of the Nine Inch Nails stuff that I've heard for this soundtrack sounds fucking amazing. Like everybody's like 100%. Like some of the reviews were like 100% on the score, 0 on the movie. I was like, okay, all right. But I think that's all we got for this one, guys. So stay curious and pass out.
Later.